what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you how to lock your string on the machine head here on the tuning peg, how to lock it. You know, I just noticed recently that a lot of guitar players, even some quite good ones, don't lock their strings there. They just stick them through and wrap them around a million times, or maybe they tie a bunch of knots in. Then they wonder why their guitar won't stay in tune. Well, Rodney Orth taught me many years ago to lock your strings, and really it was to do the plain ones, but we do it with all 6 strings, and I've been doing this for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. You get pretty good at it, it gets pretty easy, and it really does lock your strings. Now, I did the low E string. This is one of my Fender Stratocasters. I've done the low E string here, and I'm going to do the A string next. I'm going to show you that as best I can. I have the camera set sort of in my perspective. I'm actually looking at the camera, at the back of the camera, and not looking at my hands. The reason we start with the low E and work our way up is because now we don't have these other strings coming down here in our way. Okay, so I always start at the outside edges. On a Gibson, I'd start at the 2 E's and work my way in. That way the previous string is not coming down and running down the neck here and in your way. So let's do it. Now the first thing I do, I take my peg head here and I line the hole up so that it's going this way. And let me see if I can show you. Perpendicular to the fingerboard. The neck is down there, this way. I'm going to line the hole up that way. Now I can't see it too good because I'm looking through this camera, so I'm going to use the string here to kind of probe and show you. So that's actually pretty good. Now it can be directly across. Oops, excuse me for hitting the camera. Or it can actually be cranked a little more like that. Okay, now I'm going to push the string through, pull it through, try and give you a good look. And I do it till I get to about, wait a minute. Believe it or not, I had the string wrapped around the neck. I must say I've never done that before. Okay, now I'm going to try this again. Move the camera back just a little bit here. And we're going to put the string through. Wow, I got it on the first try. Guess you can tell I've been doing this a while. You know, you do something 40, 50 years, you get pretty good at it. Okay, so I make a loop like this now. Of course, this is running down this way and down the neck. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I take this end, the trailing end, and I kink it hard. Then I pull it with this finger. Now watch now. So here comes the magic. And I pull it underneath like that. Now my right hand, let's see if I can zoom out here a little. Okay, I'm going to pull back. My right hand here, I'm pulling the tail here with my left hand, straight up and tight. And with my right hand, I'm pulling against here. Now you see my right finger, and I'm going to move the camera out so you can see I have my hand like this, so I'm keeping tension on the string. See that? Okay, now that is locked. This string is going around and crossing over this one that's straight up. And then I come in here, oh, the lens is in the way, and I start turning this. Now you can turn it like that, or you can turn it like this, which is a lot easier. Now all the time, you see here, I'm keeping the tension. Let me just show you again, I'm going to pull back. I'm keeping the tension on that string. I'm keeping it tight. I'm not letting the tension up. If I do, it'll let go of that little tail and there'll be some slop in there. Now I can get it out. Okay, here we go. Now it's important here not to do this too much or the string will break. There you go. Maybe a little more, just for fun. Now, if there's any slop, I'm going to use my screwdriver. If in here, if you see I see a little slop in here possibly, I will try and pull that out when I stretch the string. I'm going to do that right now by really pulling on it over here on the fingerboard. Okay, it's stretched, and that will take it out. Once you do that once or twice, let's get the pitch up. Now we're going to stretch it. Show you what I'm doing down here. I'm doing this. You learn to know how much you can do it, and then you'll hear the pitch drop. Went down a half a step. And I have a really well-locked string. Now, it's also a good idea to come back. Let me pull up a little bit here on the camera. It's also a good idea to come back afterwards and tug on this. Make sure that end's seated good. Both ends are seated good. Then after I do all 6, I tune the guitar. I stretch all the strings, get it really in tune good. And then I come back and clip all 6 of these in a row like this. And here's my low E string that I have locked. I'm going to zoom in there with the camera and see if you can see how that is locked. Excuse me for my awkwardness. It is hard to see it. There you can see it. See the strings locked in there? Now, if you want to know how to do this better, you can come in the store and we'll show you. Or you can pay us to restring your guitar, but if you're playing a guitar and you love the instrument, it's nice to lay your hands on it here and restring it yourself so that it knows who loves it. Okay? So, what kind of tools do you need to restring your guitar? Just quickly, I always have polish handy when I take the strings off, especially on a maple neck like this. I wipe off the neck, your clippers, and your winders. You can have the deluxe powered one or just the regular one here like this. You know, they come in handy. And you should have a winder. It makes the job way easier. Now, what strings do you use? Well, we're using the Adarios today. And I thought I'd tell you, I'm using the EXL 120 Plus because EXL 120s are 9s and EXL 110s are 10s. And lately, I usually use 10s, but I haven't been playing much and my fingers are not exactly as strong as they should be. So I'm going to 9.5. It has a 9.5, which is very, very cool. That way, they're neither 9s or 10s. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So there you go. So my strings are locked, and that's what it's like. That's how it's done. Remember, Fred's Music Shop, Shillington, PA.
Yeah.